Keeping at it when you sorely want to quit turns a failure into a success. But what fuels you to take one more step and keep at it against all odds? The motivation. Words hold immense power within them, and a couple of words heard at the right time, hitting the right spot, could make all the difference in the world. So, charge yourself up and get inspired. Here are some of the best motivational speeches. First up, Steve Jobs on how to live before you die. Steve Jobs requires no introduction. The man single-handedly took innovation, computing, and aesthetics to a whole new level. Apple's success story before us is all bright as a day. So when Steve's dropping some pearls of wisdom, you better be ready with your bucket to catch as many as you can. Fortunately, he gave the best advice in an inspirational manner during his commencement speech at Stanford University in 2005. The innovator advised the students to keep an ear open to their gut, since it always knows precisely where it should be. He then emphasized the reality of everything being connected in life. The genius explained that one should believe in the process and know in their heart that even the things that don't make any sense at that moment are essential to one's journey. He went on to say that everything in life is connected, and once you take a look back upon reaching your final destination, everything starts making sense. You come to know that every hurdle you ever encountered along your life was a step on your path here. Steve spoke from heart and experience. Add those to a delicately arranged string of words, and you have yourself a speech that'll inspire you to your every bone and give you goosebumps while listening to it. So give it a listen. And now, the TED Talk by Elizabeth Gilbert. TED Talks are a source of infinite wisdom and inspiration, bringing people from all walks of life, summarizing experiences and things learned over a period of a lifetime in minutes. One such full of wisdom and inspiration is the talk by Elizabeth Gilbert, titled Your Elusive Creative Genius. The speech takes on historical accounts of creative genius, explaining its definitions and evolution of perspectives on creativity throughout the various eras. It's to do in particular with Elizabeth's way of putting her ideas out that can't help but feel the passion and get immersed in the thoughts. She also shares excerpts from her own experience with the creative genius and the hide and seek between them. Then she highlights her struggles in reviving the ability to connect with her creative genius, which, by the way, could serve as a guiding star in your journey to finding your creativity. Not only is the whole affair thought-provoking, but it also takes you to whole other dimensions where creativity has kind of a mystical existence. Take it from us, if you feel the connection between you and your creative self has been lost, watch this. Up next, J.K. Rowling on failure and the importance of imagination. J.K. Rowling knows how to cast a spell as a writer, pun intended. The creator of the Harry Potter universe, Rowling has a close acquaintance with failure and success. Her commencement speech at Harvard University in June 2008 combines the importance of failures and imagination. If you're having a hard time coping with a recent failure, you've got to listen to it, and you'll be up and running like a stallion in no time. Rowling, in her speech, urges the students not to fear failure. She shares the dark parts of her story, quite ironically, to serve as a guiding light for the way out of a pit. Anyway, Rowling narrates that she's a poor single mother who had to take up teaching English at a night school to make ends meet. While she wrote during her free time, she'd never had a breakthrough with her work. She claims that, in fact, it was these failures that made her strong enough to take the challenges of life head on. The star author also sheds light on the importance of imagination and how it could become a tool for humans to empathize with each other, a trait she believes to be the most important in mankind. The words captivate the audience and implore them to use the power of imagination for common good. Moving on, Simon Sinek on how great leaders inspire action. If change is the one thing you want to bring about in your life and affect others, listen to Simon Sinek talking about how great leaders inspire action. The accomplished author and ethnographer debunks the most effective methods to inspire change in others and oneself. The best thing about it's that it's not all philosophical talk, but also discusses the scientific backing of it, how the brain takes change, and which parts of it should one affect to bring about the desired and most effective change. He also explains the behavior which could inspire others to take action for a common cause. Simon's punchline is, start with a why, and enforces the idea that if one can make the masses believe what one believes, they can move mountains. The whole concept revolves around pulling people people's hearts to the cause to see the desired change. It's especially beneficial for students to start their journey in practical life because it also discusses the thinking patterns for effective decision-making. So, if you're looking to be an inspiring leader yourself, Simon's speech could give you tips or two while inspiring you to actually become one. And now, Brené Brown on the power of vulnerability. If you're ever struggling with fears of rejection, before you even begin working on something, just give Brené Brown's talk on the power of vulnerability a good listen, and you'll be good to go. It'll leave you not only inspired, but also full of energy to get to work instantly. For those of you who don't know her, Dr. Brown's a professor and a researcher at the University of Houston Graduate College of Social Work. She's also authored a book that went on to be a #1 New York bestseller. Moving on and getting down to what the whole talk is about. First of all, Brown urges the audience to lose the defensive armor that seemingly protects us from hurtful situations. She shuns the popular belief that vulnerability is a weakness and gives her audience a new way of looking at the feeling. She explains how vulnerability allows humans to experience new things, bringing joy, belonging, creativity, and authenticity to their lives. Listening to her will leave you speechless over how you've been looking at vulnerability the wrong way throughout your life. It'll open your eyes to the fact that if wielded properly, it's nothing shorter than a superpower that certainly deserves a shot. Oh, and while it may sound boring, Brown's speech isn't all ideas dwelling in a spiritual realm. She backs her every finding with a study, and there'll be a lot of data too. Nevertheless, it's extremely interesting and inspiring, giving the stagnant motivation a stir. Must watch it. Up next, Tim Urban's take on procrastination. In today's world, where getting started on something productive seems impossible due to easily and abundantly available distractions. This talk should be a lullaby to everyone who feels a sense of hopelessness because of procrastination. Tim Urban explains the whole concept of procrastination in a friendly manner and highlights what actually happens in the mind of an expert procrastinator. The entire thing keeps the audience immersed in the tactics of gratification monkey, the habits of rational decision maker, and the power of panic monster. The imaginative characters Tim uses to explain the inner workings of procrastination. The best thing about the talk is it tells the concepts like a story, which makes confronting what might seem like a nightmare to many people. Plus, the well-placed humor and wittiness make sure you never feel bored at any point. Anyway, the most motivating part comes at the end, when Tim contradicts the popular belief that procrastinators are a select few people in the world. Tim reveals that in reality, every one of us is a procrastinator in ourselves. We're sure that'll bring a sigh of relief to a lot of people who've always thought there was something wrong with them. Moving on, Tim then explains the difference between various kinds of procrastination and the effect they can produce in one's life depending upon the deadlines. He highlights that in situations that have a deadline to them, like writing a thesis, procrastination is nothing to be worried about, since the panic monster gets triggered and saves the person well in time. Tim also sheds light on the real problem, one which actually needs your attention to navigate, the tasks that don't come with a deadline. He concludes that these are the things that lead to regrets in people's lives, and the only solution to avoid them is to put in place self-imposed deadlines. So, if you feel like procrastination is ruining your life, listen to Tim, and we're sure it'll motivate you enough to manage your habits and make the whole thing seem easier. That's a wrap for this video. Which of these speeches or talks motivated you the most? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you at the next one.